Assalamu alaikum. Just a few minutes. We are starting. We just want give 4 minutes.
Yes, no worries. Wa alaikum salam, no worries.
भैया आओ तो बात नहीं आ रही है।
ये म्यूट पे क्यों चला जाता है? किबला सफदर साहब,
अस्सलाम
आपकी
वालेकुम
आवाज
रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
सलाम। अभी आई किबला आपकी आवाज। सलाम वालेकुम जनाब।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। वालेकुम अस्सलाम। या
कैसी
अल्लाह,
तबीयत है?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह का
माशाअल्लाह,
शुक्र है। आपकी दुआ है। आप कैसे हो?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। दारुस्सलाम से बोल रहा हूँ मैं, मौलाना साहब। सफदर अली मेरा नाम है,
माशाल्लाह
सफदर
माशाल्लाह
अली फाज।
माशाल्लाह। हमारा
अपना
सेम नाम है आपकी तरह, फर्स्ट नेम।
रजी अल्लाह अन्हो है, हम सिर्फ सफदर अली फाज
सही।
है।
Okay. So, inshallah, I think we'll start now. There was a request to do in Urdu some of the things. However, I think it will be nice to keep a separate session for Urdu. So just not to make khichdi out of the this session. So because if I'll be speaking English Urdu, we might end up into Zanzibarian mix or something like that. So some might like it, some might not like it. So I'll keep it in English, okay? And in case if there's a question, you can raise your hand and I can explain in Urdu, or wait for the Urdu session. Most probably same time tomorrow we will have जो उर्दू बात करते हैं ना, उनके लिए हम एक सेपरेट सेशन करेंगे यही वक्त पे कल इंशाअल्लाह, ताकि क्या है कि वो इंग्लिश उर्दू मिक्स करूंगा तो वो खिचड़ी बन जाएगी, और कभी कभी वो जो है खिचड़ी खराब हो जाती है, तो समझ में नहीं आती, क्योंकि कभी कभी खिचड़ी खाने से पेट में गड़बड़ भी हो
ठीक
जाता है
है, ठीक है।
अगर गलत दाल का इस्तेमाल किया जाए तो। Okay, so I would request everyone to mute your mics, and if you have any questions, we will inshallah be there for you to answer. So we start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Inshallah, this session will be let me just see if yes, this session will be for Umrah al-Mufrada. Now, number one, many times people, they think Umrah al-Mufrada is like ziyarat, and they just pack their belongings and they go for the Umrah, and they end up into a few errors that might cost them the whole Umrah, or that might cost them to stay in the state of Ihram. So number one, if any problem happens in entering the state of Ihram, that means the whole Umrah is gone. As they say, kiss your Umrah goodbye. But if you were successful in entering the state of Ihram, so now you are locked inside the Ihram. In order to get out of it, you need to do tawaf, 2 rakat tawaf, sa'i, Safa Marwa, properly, following the rules, and then taqsir, and then tawaf al-nisa. And if any problem happens in these essentials, like you miss out even unintentionally or do it wrong, then you come back home, you ask the Maulana says, congratulations, you are still muhrim, mashallah. You're what? Yeah, go home, take your shirt pants off, put your tube dress and stay in your home, be it in Canada, Dar es Salaam, wherever you are, go back into the state of Ihram. And you'll be inside your house wearing these two white cloth for male and female. They have to be in their regular clothing. They are stuck in the Ihram. Why? Because the process of exiting the state of Ihram was not done properly. You did taqsir, but before taqsir, there were some acts you did not do it properly. So you did not get out of your Ihram, because taqsir happens only if you do those pre-taqsir things properly. So several people, they have done these kind of things. What they do, a common mistake. They sometimes, because the ulamas, they say the sa'i, you can do it even on camel, you can do it on the wheelchair and whatever. So what happened? Some smart people, high-tech people, found out that up there are electronic, like when you go to the supermarket, especially in Western countries, you have this supermarket like scooters inside. So they've made something like that in Safa and Marwa on the top floor. So these smart people, they go there, and not just themselves, they take their wives with them who are walking. So they did their sa'i up. Now, Ayatollah Sistani, most of the Maraja, intentionally, unintentionally, you do the sa'i on the top floor where you cannot see the two mountains, kiss your sa'i goodbye. Now you kissed your sa'i goodbye, okay? What does that mean? You did taqsir, kiss your taqsir goodbye. You did tawaf al-nisa goodbye. Everything goodbye because you're stuck in the ihram. So now you have to, in your hometown, just wear those thing and be stuck until you either go back, which might be difficult, or find someone who is going to go there and do niyabat and call you, okay, your sa'i is done, you can do the taqsir. And you can get out and let me know so I can do your tawaf and nisa, because you cannot do tawaf and nisa before taqsir. So it's these sequences important. That's why we are sitting here trying to avoid, God forbid, any of those kind of things, to learn these kind of troubleshooters and then fix those troubleshooters there, not after coming back. You ask the Maulana and the Maulana says, "Bay, your Umrah is still not you're still in the ihram of the Umrah and you have not unlocked yourself." So that is important, that they are obligatory. So we are going to this session or focus on obligatory acts. Next week, inshallah, we are going to have three things: recommended acts and some troubleshooters, and the mustahab ziyarat and all the other things. I will mention a few mustahabbat today, but I want to focus on those essentials. Like some of my colleagues who work in the medical field in this ER emergency thing, when they go and rescue people in emergency ambulances, they tell us take care of two main things: the spine and the heart. These two things needs to be intact. The rest of the body will repair it. Fracture here, fracture there, this way. But once the spine cord is cut, or the heart is ruptured by finish, we have a serious issue. So here also we're going to focus on what is the spine cord of Umrah, and we need to make sure that these things you don't mess up with it. So so just before yesterday, because 1 month before, one of the couples, they went Umrah and they did on the top floor of Sa'i, and they came back, and now they asked this, so they realized, oh, we are still in Ihram. So now just last night, because luckily they were lucky that mashallah, so many of our beloved ones are going Umrah Rajabiyya, because it's very highly recommended to do Umrah in Rajab. So they're going for Umrah Rajab. And they so alhamdulillah, we're able to ask some of our beloved ones to do the sa'i between Safa and Marwa on their behalf, and do the taqsir and then tawaf in nisa. So this was problem. So this is not one. We have so many cases. People, they go, they come back, they're sitting after 1 year, 2 year, they've been in the state of ihram, they are having private relations with their spouses, and they're still in their state of ihram. But they're not, they do not know, you see, that they're still in the ihram of Umrah al-Mufrada. They're enjoying their life. And then suddenly they're sitting to a lesson or watching YouTube, or maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants them to fix it. Now is about time they realize, and they find out, oh, we are still in ihram. So those who are listening to this, and they might realize that they have done the sa'i on the top floor, they might say, oh. So that's why we don't want any O's after we come back, inshallah. So any O's you have, take it out in Makkah, not even after going in Medina. Just make sure. So I sent you a few things in the group. Let me just go quickly through those problems, because we don't want to get into those problems. So problem number one was things to remember. Wrong ihram, I said, leads to invalidation of the entire Umrah. I mentioned this. Then nothing from the acts of Umrah and Hajj require purifications except for Tawaf and Salat al-Tawaf. Even in Hajj, all these manasik al-Hajj, kindly mute off your mic, please. So So all these manasik al-hajj, only two things require wudu. That's easiness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, here comes the thing. If the wudu is invalid, tawaf is invalid, salat al-tawaf is invalid. Yani you are stuck in your ihram. So make sure to go to your local scholar, wherever you have a scholar, let them check your wudu properly, inshallah. And if there is still someone who wants to confirm, inshallah, we will have time in Jeddah, we might be able to see, because I can only check the wudu of men. Maybe our daughters and sisters, they can go to any muallima who they trust that her wudu is okay. So main function, main wajibat of wudu. There are so many things which are mustahabbat, but main pillars of wudu, if it is done, inshallah, next week I can do here a practical thing also, so you can get an idea. So this is something, it's a good news. Okay, only two things wudu, be cheezuma fakat wujud aata to samajhta tha ke baddu baddai jagah wudu. Yeah, it's recommended baddai jagah everywhere, but these two things, it is like must. The bad news is that there are people, their wudu is wrong. Okay, they do ghusl because ghusl ihram, and they don't do wudu because it is sufficient for wudu, but the ghusl is wrong. So that's why I would recommend, even if you do ghusl, just precautionary measures, just do. Maybe there is a glue stuck under your feet and the water did not reach, and then your ghusl is invalid. Then now come to your, you don't have any wudu. So even if, because any recommended ghusl, like these ihram and entering Makkah, there are like 3-4 ghusls. Ghusl entrance of haram, ghusl entering of Kaaba, ghusl of tawaf. So all these 3 ghusls, okay, they are there. But did you do right or wrong? That's the bad news. Good news is only tawaf requires and salat al-tawaf. But the bad news is that, is it correct or not? That it's not a bad news. It's something we need to be cautious about. And then finally, the issue of critical issues, as we are going to mention the spines, we need to make sure that these spines are done correct. So inshallah, I'm going to start, and we are going to start with the Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Okay, so what do we have here? So to the first slide. Now these PowerPoint slides are not complete because I'm trying to put the areas of variances of Sayyid al-Khuy Quddasa Sirru, because we have some of them, they still follow Sayyid al-Khuy Quddasa Sirru. So these rules are based on Ayatollah al-Uzma Sayyid Ali Sistani. But wherever there are areas of variances, crucial areas, I will point out in the PPT. And this PowerPoint is completed. I'm going to send it to you all, inshallah, once it's completed. So it's still in the process of being completed. So let's do tawakkal ala Allah, tawakkalna ala Allah. So this is our plan to cover the reward of an independent Umrah. Independent Mufrad doesn't depend. So what is the difference between independent and dependent? We have Umrah and Hajj. Umrah al-Tamattu, Hajj al-Tamattu. That Umrah is not independent. That is dakhalat, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, dakhalat al-Umratu fil Hajj. Dakhalat al-Umratu fil Hajj. That means the Umrah and Hajj, they became like in one whole part. So that is not independent Umrah, Umrah al-Tamattu. That we go to for Hajj. Umrah al-Mufrada, Mufrad Fard, individual, single. So it is independent. It does not depend on the Hajj. It is complete whole act. So we are going to discuss summary of the obligations. Then we are going to take one by one the intention of entering the state of Ihram, reciting the 4 labbaiks, locking yourself in, and then tawaf around the Kaaba for Umrah and its salat, walk between the Mount Safa and Mount Marwa, clipping hair or nail, unlocking yourself from Ihram. So if you are unlocked properly, don't come back to your hometown, because you'll have to wear those 2 attires as long as you find a na'ib, somebody going there. Tawaf of women for both genders and its salat. And the ziyarat of Makkah and Medina. So this is our, inshallah, plan to cover. And obviously, there's one point which is troubleshooters, and those are very important. Those you will find them in Manasik al-Hajj, but many of those troubleshooters are not clear. So that's why the scholarly guidance and direction is needed. When if it was only for Madinah al-Munawwara, okay. If it was only for Ziyarat of Aimma, okay. But this is something, it depends. And the crucial issue is, let's say if your ihram was not done properly. Okay, you lost the ticket, you lost go. Allah will give you the reward on your intention, but you did not get your umrah done. But if you are in umrah and you don't get out of it, that's the serious problem. So it's always good to learn this masail and then go for umrah. Some of the rewards and when is it obligation? So basically, umrah is obligation on every single Muslim, similar to the obligation of Hajj. Really? We thought it was mustahab. No. If you have not gone for Hajj and you are capable of performing Umrah, then you have to go to Umrah Mufrada. So Umrah Mufrada is as wajib as Hajj. Okay, the reason is we have not heard about it because we go for Hajj Tamattu. There is already an Umrah in the package of Hajj Tamattu. So what does that mean? If you're going for Hajj, Alhamdulillah, your Umrah, Wajib Umrah is done with your Wajib Hajj. But let's say if you don't have the capacity of going for Hajj, then this Umrah, and you have the capacity to go to Umrah, because it's not that as costly as Hajj, then you have to go for Umrah. So many of those who have not gone for Hajj, it is obligatory upon them to go to Umrah Mufrada if they are capable, all the conditions of capability, if it befalls. So this is number one. Said more than one Umrah is not permissible in one lunar calendar. What does that mean? Our Aimma alayhi salatu wassalam, Imam Ali alayhi, a lot of hadith are there that every month has one Umrah. So you get one Umrah per lunar calendar. However, if you're going to like 28th of Rajab or 29th of Rajab, you do one Umrah, and then 30th Rajab and 1st Shaban, you do another Umrah. So you did two Umrahs in 2 months. Okay, one lunar month. So that's why many people, they go at the end of Rajab so they can do their own another Umrah. However, this is if you do this Umrah for yourself, you're not allowed to do two Umrahs. But if you want to do niyabat for others, then no problem. So you do one Umrah, like inshallah, we're going to go 4 nights there. Those who are interested, they can join us. First night, we do Umrah for ourselves. Second night, we do Umrah for Madhalim al-Ibad. Ya Allah, those whom I have wronged, I am doing the Umrah on their behalf. So there are two things you can do. You can do Umrah on their behalf because you can't do Umrah for yourself. You already did one. And or you can also give thawab. Ya Allah, if I'm going to get any thawab on this Umrah, give it to those whom I have wronged and I'm not able to ask for forgiveness, and I can't find them, and I have their money, and accidentally madhalim al-ibad, dhulm happened from me, backbited someone, this person hurt someone. So all these things are going to be held on the day of judgment in front of us. So we have to make sure that as much as madhalim al-ibad, recommended things we do, we include those people whom we have wronged. So you can do madhalim al-ibad umrah on behalf of those people whom I have wronged. Third, umrah for my parents, okay, on behalf of my parents, on behalf of my, you can, mustahab, you can include as many as you want. Wajib, only one. So if you're doing mustahab umrah, then you can include so many people in it, you see. So there are people, they do them one umrah, either they do it on behalf of can the speaker be muted or something like that?
Sorry.
No problem, my dear, no problem. Okay, so yeah, so therefore we have this coming back, one umrah per month. So you did one for yourself. I think you will be there 4 nights in Makkah, one umrah for madhalim al-ibad. one umrah for arham, relatives, starting from parents, grandparents, and aunties and khalas and mamus and paternal aunties, maternal aunties, paternal uncles, and their family members and their children. So that was second Silatul Raham Umrah, because Silatul Raham has great reward in Islam. So you did something good for your arham, for your relatives. And then there are people, they love you, you love them, they bestow favors upon you. So this is a good time, because if you cannot return somebody's favor, this is a good time. Do an Umrah. Ya Allah, this Umrah I am performing on behalf of those who have done favors upon me. Ya Allah, I'm doing this on their behalf, give them the reward, and forgive them and forgive all of us. So these are the four. Some people they give the hadiyah to Masumin alayhi salatu wassalam. Some people they do give hadiyah to Imam Zamana ajjalallahu ta'ala. Anyhow, these peculiar things, you and how you feel, how your circumstances are. I just gave you four examples that to do on behalf of this. So this is Umrah, one per month, and we are not going to be Rajab, Shaban. We are going to be just in the middle of Shaban. So you get to get one Umrah only. And then others, you can do it niyaba. Obviously, because you are doing tawaf, you are going sa'i, you get 90% of the reward. And 10%, those people. And those people, 10% is more than enough for them. So you will get reward. It's not that you'll not get nothing. But better than reward, you will have this feeling that you were able to help somebody, you're able to think about somebody, care about somebody. That is more sweeter than whatever rewards are there in this. Because Allah loves people who think about others, who care about others. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, the messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم, أربعة, four, لا ترد لهم دعوة حتى تفتح لهم أبواب السماء. Four people, their dua is not going to be rejected. Their dua is going to knock the doors of heavens until the doors of heavens are open. They're metaphors, obviously. وَتَصِيرُ إِلَى الْعَرْشِ, and goes all the way on the top to the throne. So, Ya Rasulullah, who are these four? الْوَالِدُ لِوَلَدِهِ, father or parents for their children. وَالْمَظْلُومُ عَلَى مَنْ ظَلَمَهُ, and the one who was wronged against the one who wronged him, was unjust to him, who oppressed him. وَالْمُعْتَمِرُ حَتَّى يَرْجَعُ, this is our shahid. And the person who performs Umrah, as long as he's there. Why? Because he's the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So he is the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, it is important for us to understand. And when you go to the masjid, you are guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, correct? So when you go to the grand masjid of Allah, so you are double guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you go to ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, the moment you start the niyat of ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, the hospitality of Imam Hussein starts, and the rewards of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts to be for. Here also, the moment you intended, Ya Allah, I'm coming to you. I'm your guest, Ya Allah. You are the best host in the whole universe. There is no host more generous than you, Ya Allah. Accept me, Ya Allah, and make my visit to you easy, Ya Allah, and accept it. So that's why when you are guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the moment you make your intention, the du'as, they start knocking the doors of heavens, and then when you come back, your du'as are continuously going into the heavens. وَالْمُعْتَمِرُ حَتَّى يَرْجَعُ, until he returns. And there are several narrations. I'll just suffice into two narrations. عن الفضيل بن يسار قال سمعت أبا جعفر, I heard Imam al-Baqir عليه الصلاة والسلام, he said قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, the messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said لا يحالف الفقر والحمى مدمن الحج والعمرة. MashaAllah. لا يحالف, does not encounter. What does it not encounter? Ya Ibn Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah. So this is Imam al-Baqir narrating from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does that encounter? The poverty and the fever, those chronic fevers where people they don't get out of it, those lengthy fevers. Okay, so this kind of sickness and the poverty does not encounter mudmin, the one who is addicted to the Hajj and Umrah. Halu Hajj, Halu Umrah, Hajj, Umrah, Hajj, Umrah, Hajj, Umrah. And there are so many narrations. Being guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens the doors of livelihood. Many people, my teachers, they used to tell them that if you have a serious case of poverty, go for Hajj, go for Umrah. Allah will bless you. And the same thing is that I tell the way I learned from my teachers, which is based on the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, narrated from Rasulullah, that Hajj and Umrah, they bring financial blessings as well. La yuhaliful faqr, the poverty never encounters, and the chronic fever, mudmin, the one who's addicted. He just thinks the way we think of ziyarat, add one more list in your system that inshallah every year I'll go for Umrah and ziyarat of Imam Hussein, ziyarat of Imam Rada. I'll do all these things, and every year I have to do put my passport 14 masumin. When I was young, I used to be very happy when I see all the visas of Masumin, 14 Masumin in my passport. I'll be very happy. Alhamdulillah, my passport would be treasure for me because it is a visa of Ziyarat of Imam Rida, visa of Ziyarat of the Aimmas of Iraq, alayhi salam, visa of Aimmas of Baqi, alayhi salatu wasalam, and the house of God. So make sure that you pack your passport every year with these blessed visits. Okay. Miqat. Now, I don't want to make you dizzy by showing you the small writings. You'll get the PowerPoint presentation. Because Agha Sistani in his book of law, sometimes the sentences are even in English, they are not simple sentences. So I have to simplify it, and that requires a consultation with the representative of Agha Sistani, in office of Agha Sistani, to make sure that whatever masail are presented here, they are inshallah according to the direction of Agha and explanations of Agha. So basically we come to the miqat. What is miqat? Miqat is designated place, location, where the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam designated it for people who are coming. They want to enter Makkah, they need to enter the state of Ihram. Remember my words, enter the state of Ihram, enter, they become Muhrim, enter. These are very important words for the non-Arabs. Why? Because the translation is wrong, and I say in black and white, flat rate, the translation of Ihram is wrong. In the English books, many of those, they say, I'm wearing Ihram. No, you're not wearing Ihram. And they've taken it from Urdu, me band raha hu. No. That is niyat band raha hu, not dress band raha hu. So that even in Urdu, it's not clear, and English translation got messed up. So the Ihram is a spiritual process like Salat. You enter that state of Salat, you enter the spiritual state of Ihram. Wearing the attire of Ihram is different, entering the state of Ihram is different. So I'm going to further discuss with you that, but at this point, just focus that I'm saying entering, not wearing. To enter the state of Ihram, you have to be in one of these miqat. So this miqat is for people who are coming from Medina or anyone coming from north. This miqat is anyone coming from Egypt and Jeddah, which is called Al-Juhfa, okay, which is one of our miqats. We will be landing in Jeddah. And this That al-Irq, those who are coming for that Irq from Iraq, and then Qarn al-Manazil coming from Qatar, Dubai. So we are going to pass in our airplane, those who are going to come by Emirates, they are going to pass over Qarn al-Manazil. So we have two miqats for arriving Jeddah. We pass Qarn al-Manazil, we have Al-Juhfa. So Qarn al-Manazil is just adjacent to Ta'if, the city of pomegranates. And then this Yalamlam, it is the miqat of people of Yemen. So Yemen, people coming from south or Yemen. So I'm just going to focus on this Al-Juhfa and Qarn al-Manazil because these are the two we might encounter. We might encounter either Juhfa, we might encounter either Qarn al-Manazil. Okay, so we cannot enter Makkah without entering into the state of Ihram. In order for us to enter the state of Ihram, there are three things. Either we become muhrim by nether from the aeroplane, inside the aeroplane before reaching this area. And that Agha Sistani has a problem, because if it was a daytime flight, then you are going to put yourself, your nether will be contradicting itself. How you're entering the state, going to enter the state of Ihram, and you're going to do one of the violations. But if it's going to be at night flight, then there is a way out, and it's a ihtiyati mas'ala. So plane, doing the another from the plane, it's better not to do. And there's food and this and that, a lot of congested situation. So we'll arrive. Alhamdulillah, Hajj Caravan has made that one day we stay in Jeddah, or maybe half a day. We stay in Jeddah and then we leave. Normally the plan is to go for Juhfa and enter the state of Ihram from Juhfa. However, there is a proposal that if we can get those people in Saudi to take us to Qarn al-Manazil, normally the distance going to Juhfa, going to Qarn al-Manazil is almost same. But while coming back in the state of Ihram, it becomes a little bit annoying situation to spend too much time in the state of Ihram for many people who are not used to this. And being in the state of Ihram, that means you're restricted. And when you're restricted, you might end up into doing some of the prohibitions of Ihram unintentionally, and then you had messed up with your Ihram. So that's why the lesser time we put in the state of Ihram before we start performing our acts of Umrah, the better. So the proposal is there, inshallah. Hopefully, if they are able to take us to Qarn al-Manazil, that will be good, great. If not, then Juhfa is already in the plan. So now, so I said three things. Number one, from the aeroplane, the nether. Number two, going to the miqat. Number three, Agha Sistani, not Agha Khui, allows the Ihram inside Jeddah. Bin nether, through the vow. Remember, this vow is very important. Okay? Because whenever you doubt, is this miqat or not, just do it with vow, as long as you have not crossed the line of miqat. Okay? Remember, as long as you have not crossed the line of miqat, like in the aeroplane, we said we can do by nether. So he said you can do by nether in Jeddah. Agha Khui said no. Why Agha Sistani? He has this, subhanAllah, Agha Sistani has, mashallah, a lot of breakthrough fatwas, like using scientific data. So he used this data to pinpoint why he has a ruling that either you enter the state of Ihram from miqat or a parallel point to the miqat. So we have any miqat. So we have this Juhfa. And what is the parallel point? 90 degrees. Like the miqat is here and Makkah is here. So 90 degrees. That point is your parallel point. So either you do Ihram on the parallel point. If you can't find the parallel point and you know that you are before the line of the miqat, then you can do Ihram bin Nadar. Let me show you example of parallel point. Like this is Juhfa. And this is Makkah. So this area is a parallel point. It's somewhere, he says in his Manasik, southeast of Jeddah. Southeast, because Jeddah is here. And this area is considered south and east because Jeddah is slanted towards southeast. Okay. So southeast somewhere, it's a parallel. So this area, range of 0.04 degrees latitude, what they say, longitude. Okay. That means if we go just here, otherwise it's in the sea, this parallel point. So we have to swim and do the Ihram. But he says the intellectual accuracy is not required. Orphan, Makkah is in front of you, Juhfa is up, that is your parallel point. So all these areas, they are considered parallel point. Here you don't have to do nether. But therefore, Jeddah, for example, Jeddah airport is here. So if you are arriving Jeddah, and if you are in Jeddah behind this line, then you can do ihram bin nadhr, and you don't have to go through vow. You don't have to go to the miqat. However, this is when you go to individual umrah, just consult me or anyone who has awareness about these rulings. We can direct you. But now, since we are doing a group and we have Hui followers can not do ihram in Jeddah unless if it was missed out in the plane, unless if it was missed out in the miqat, unless. So it's a bit tough rule for Agha Hui. But Agha Sistani, it made it easy. No, khalas. In Jeddah, you can enter the state of ihram through nadhr. You don't have to go to miqat. So this is the parallel point. So number one, ihram from the miqat. Number two, ihram from the aeroplane via nadhr. But since you're going to go into something which you're going to violate, okay, the concept of ihram, then he says that ihtiyat wajib, it's not good. So you can refer to another marja. The officer of Agha Sistani has given me the name. So those who want to do ihram bin nadhr through vow from the aeroplane, they can refer to this marja. But to be safe side, it's better we go to one of these two miqats and get ourselves sukun itminan, that at least we entered the state, at least we stuck ourselves in the state of ihram. And so then now we'll have to think how to get out of it properly. So this is the thing. Now, these are a few other parallel points I have did. It's not for this session. It's for the Hajj people. They go Hajj sometimes. They arrive individually by themselves. This is another parallel point of Masjid al-Shajara. In Medina, there's Masjid al-Shajara. So this is also 90 degrees somewhere in this Masjid al-Hudaybiyah. This is Makkah, which is 90. Hudaybiyah is just outside of Makkah. But this needs to be confirmed that these can be, because I have some information that some scholars, they said that Agha allows ihram of Umrah Mufrada. If you are arriving Jeddah, you don't have to embrace ihram, enter the state of ihram in Jeddah. You can just go to Masjid al-Hudaybiyah and without vow. Because why? Because it's a parallel point to Masjid al-Shajara. So all these things need to be confirmed. So for us to be safe side is either Juhfa, either Qarn al-Manazil. If Qarn al-Manazil happens, which is in Ta'if, see, the parallel point was taken by taking these coordinates of Masjid al-Shajara, coordinates of those parallel points. A lot of intellectual activity has been done. See the coordinates. This is very intellectual work, by the way. And mashallah, Sistani is doing a lot of these kind of directions through his experts, obviously. Coordinates. We are trying to find out parallel points. So basically, this is our journey. So we arrive Jeddah. Okay. So the best thing is to go all the way back Jeddah Corniche. There you do ihram with nadhr, with all the satisfaction, Sistani followers. But we have this. So this is Juhfa. So going to Juhfa this is car, by the way. Bus takes double the time, and with traffics, and you see this traffic mark is already there. So it's 34 kilometers. Okay, going to Juhfa. Coming from Juhfa is about 2 hours in the car, double the time in the bus. So you'll be in the bus about 4 hours, plus minus, depends on the traffic, depends on all the other circumstances. So, and it's 179. So to avoid this lengthy coming back in the state of ihram, this was proposed that if those people of our coordinators in Jeddah, they can take us all the way to Qarn al-Manazil. So we're not going to enter Makkah. The road bypasses Makkah. Okay, it's not there. We are not going to enter Makkah. So we come to this miqat of Ta'if. We enter the state of ihram, and we come back. So while coming back, the distance is 1 hour, like half, in the car, obviously. Half of the time from Juhfa coming back. And 1 hour in the car means 2 hours by traffic and all those kind of things. So this is the other route. So inshallah, whatever is decided, we will inshallah go. This is haram. Yes. When we want to do second Umrah, third Umrah, fourth Umrah, we are in Makkah. We don't have to go all the way to the miqat of Juhfa or Ta'if. No, we can just go out. So there are you don't have to even go to this masjid. Agha Sistani said this is green is Makkah's border. We can go to Masjid al-Namara, okay, the Arafat mosque, okay, in Arafat, and we can show you what happens in Hajj, those who have not gone for Hajj. So we can go to Masjid al-Hamara, Namira, and make our intention of Ihram there, because Arafat is out of the Haram of Makkah. So that's a definite point. Then there's this Masjid Aisha, which is called Tan'im. Okay, this is another point to go and enter the state of Ihram. Then this Masjid al-Hudaybiyah, which we said parallel point to Masjid Shajara. Then we have this Ju'rana. Ju'rana is very far. So our options will be, okay, when we every night we go to do one Umrah, because we are there. What do we do? Just instead of tawaf, just give a package of Umrah. Okay, enter the state of Ihram and exit the state of Ihram. If we are good in it, Alhamdulillah. So here Masjid al-Namara is 1 hour point. Depends on which is closer from our hotel. Okay, this is Haram, and this is Masjid Aisha is the second one, which is Masjid Tan'im. And Masjid al-Hudaybiyah is where Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, and it has some historical things. And maybe one day we can go here, we can go here, we can go here. It depends on how our coordinators of caravan in Makkah, they can arrange for us these kind of trips. So for us, it is not necessary, Aghasistans, to go one of these masajid. No, you can just drive your car, you come to an area out of the Haram. But how will we know that this is out of the Haram? Just go one of these masajid that they are for sure out of the Haram. Okay, so this is about this. Now, Agha Sistani says you can wear the dress of Ihram whatever way you want. It's two pieces. Okay, and for the ladies, their own regular dresses are sufficient. However, they should not be glittering, and all the glittering is, even in normal cases, is not hijab, glittering dress. Okay, normal hijab, which is not too flashy colors, that normal hijab, proper hijab, is sufficient for Ihram. It is recommended to have white dress. That's why you see women, they wear white dress indicates some purity, some spirituality in many cultures, and so that's why it is something because men, they wear white, it's recommended. So even women, they say, why should men wear white and we don't wear white? So we want equal rights kind of thingy. We are going to wear white. Okay, no problem. But what is the deal with these goggles? These goggles are like, it is permissible to wear goggles to prevent yourself from suns, but not those fancy fashion goggles. That's one of the prohibitions of Ihram, to beautify yourself. Okay, so that's why this is just an image to show you. Men, they wear two pieces, and women. We are going to talk more about this, inshallah. But it's just like we want to enter the state of Ihram. Now, see, this is one of the things, the arguments against the translation. Women, they don't need to wear the Ihram. So their dress is their Ihram. Men, this is an independent obligation. Wearing the dress of Ihram for men is but both of them, they have to enter the state of Ihram. Go to Agha Sistani's website in English, Manasik al-Hajj, you will find everywhere I'm wearing. So we have informed them this is misleading the people. Okay, so they are going to fix that problem, inshallah. Okay, so now Nadhr. So basically, ihtiyatan, even from Juhfa, I say let's do just Nadhr. Subhanallah, tomorrow fatwa changes something. Let's do 2 in 1. Do Nadhr and do the Ihram. Make ourselves obligation. Why? Because if it is not a miqat and you did your Ihram, then your Ihram will become invalid. You did not enter the state of Ihram. So there are some places still ulamas, they doubt. Some miqats, the ulamas, they doubt and argue the top maraja. So to be on the safe side, and just ihtiyatan, as a precautionary measure, I just do Nadhr, be it from Juhfa, be it from Ta'if, we do Nadhr and we enter the state of Ihram. Then alhamdulillah, is guaranteed. So what is Nadhr? So let's say a place which is doubtful to be a miqat, or the location you are standing is doubtful. Like in Masjid al-Shajar, there's so much talk about it. Those people who come from Medina, is the masjid outside? Okay, not outside. Just do Ihram bin Nadhr and finish yourself. You see, in Ta'if, for example, there's Rabigh. Rabigh is also people they consider miqat, but it's not miqat. So people, they do ihram with nadr. So in general, instead of getting into this is miqat or not, we go to the miqat, whatever is non-miqat. But precautionary measure, we do nadr. Okay? And then we enter the state of ihram. What does that mean? In plane, you cannot become muhrim. Plane is not a miqat. Even if the plane is flying over the miqat, let's say this is the miqat, the plane is flying 500 kilometers per hour. So once you are here, you say, Lillahi alif, you have fast. You're just seeing the miqat down, but you have fast. So it's very fast. It is Lillahi alif, it's gone, finished. So that's why they say before the miqat, half an hour, just make sure that you enter the. So whenever you are entering the state of ihram and it's not a miqat, then you enter the state of ihram with the intention of nadhr. What does nadhr mean? Like in Urdu, we say manta and this. Nadhr means I'm making obligation upon myself for Allah to do this, for example. Okay? People, they do like kunde ki niyaz nowadays. They have done manta. If God gives me blessing, if God gives him livelihood, every year I'll feed the mu'min in kheer puri, and he gets his wish. And then this, because he made an oath upon himself to do this. So this is the nadhr. It's very important. This is a small sentence. Lillahi alayya, for Allah it is upon me, and uhrim min Jeddah, for example, that I'm going to enter the state of ihram from Jeddah. So, or from Ta'if, from that sail, Ta'if, wherever we are, or min huna, wherever we are, we will just say min huna wal an. So from here and now. That's it. Now it becomes wajib upon you to enter the state of ihram. Okay, you cannot say, okay, no, I'm not going to continue, I'm going to go to another place. You'll have to give penalty because you made obligation upon yourself to become muhrim from this miqat. You cannot go to another miqat. Or you did from Jeddah. They say you can go, but you will have to pay the penalty for going against the nadhr. So this is about the nadhr. Lillahi alayhi muhrim. We are going to, first thing, when we arrive, after we are done, before we do the niyat, intention of locking ourselves, entering the state of ihram, we are going to. So what is in the niyat? This niyat is standard. What are you doing? Entering the state of ihram. What are you doing? Performing the tawaf. What are you doing? Salat of tawaf. A standard niyat. What are you doing? For what are you doing? It's part of umrah or it's part of hajj? No, it's part of umrah. Which type of umrah? Tamattu mufrada. Because it's part of umrah mufrada. Okay. And then why are you doing? Because it's obligation upon me. Wujuban. Or it's recommended. Mustahab. Okay. Because once you make nadhr, it becomes wajib upon you, at least to enter the state of ihram, because you made an oath with Allah that I'm going to enter the state of ihram now. So you are fulfilling your wajib. Then you don't have to say wujuban, just say qurbatan lillah. But what is your purpose? The purpose is qurbatan lillahi ta'ala, nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you are doing on behalf of for someone like second, third, fourth umrah, inshallah, which we will be doing, so you can say on behalf of my relatives, on behalf of those whom I have wronged them, but keep those a few names in your mind, because you cannot make ambiguous anyone. No, fulan, 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 and all those who. So at least there are some defined people in your mind. You don't have to, the nadhr, yes, the nadhr must be uttered vocally. But everything, you don't have to utter vocally except for two things. Salat al-Tawaf and Labbaik. Even in Hajj, all the ibadat of Hajj, there is no wajib of vocalization, no wajib, except for Salat al-Tawaf, because you have to say, and Labbaik, you have to say. So vocal wajibs are only two, be it Umrah, be it Hajj, only two. Labbaik and Salat al-Tawaf. Wudu, only in two things, Tawaf and Salat al-Tawaf. So these things minimizes your tension for wudu. The intention of wearing ihram instead of entering the state of ihram or becoming muhrim. So we cannot say wearing ihram. Okay, we have to say instead of wearing, instead of that, we should say, just like a rush, so it's not proper. So instead of saying wearing ihram, wherever you have your manasik in your hand, change it, because you're not wearing ihram, you're entering the state of ihram. If you don't do that, entering the state of ihram, in your intention, in your heart, You are saying wearing ihram, you did not enter the state of ihram. Good news is, if you mess up in the sa'i and tawaf, you are not locked in, okay? Because you did not become muhrim. So you are making intention of wearing ihram inside your heart. No, that is wrong, because you are entering the state of ihram. The meaning of entering of the state of ihram is avoiding 25 things. Wearing the state of ihram is one of the substitutes of 25 things. What is that? Men cannot wear stitched clothes. So this is a substitute. So one of the 25 things, wearing ihram is a substitute for that. Not all the 25 things. So you see this technical problem where these misleading translation books are there. So make sure that you wear it, whichever, just be cautious that you are entering the state of ihram. Wearing the ihram. So when you wear ihram, you make your intention, because for men it is wajib to wear these 2 pieces of ihram minimum. I'm wearing the dress of ihram for Umrah, Mufrada, Qurbat Lillahi Ta'ala, Wujuban Qurbat Lillahi Ta'ala. That's done. That's wearing ihram. Now we come to the Lillahi Alayya. I'm going to enter the state of ihram now for Allah. I am becoming muhrim, or I'm entering the state of ihram for the sake of Umrah al-Mufrada, Qurbat Lillahi Ta'ala, or Wujub al-Qurbat Lillahi Ta'ala. You say wujub, you don't say wujub, it doesn't matter, because Agha Sistan says, because you made another, it becomes wajib. Once you enter the state of ihram, everything becomes obligatory to be performed, because they are rituals of your Umrah. If you don't do it, you are stuck in your ihram, locked inside it, and will not exit out of it without it. So these are by default, every single thing comes after the niyat becomes obligatory. Okay, labbaik. 4 labbaiks are wajib. And these labbaiks are like takbiratul ihram. Like you said, I'm offering salatul fajr, 2 rakat, qurbat lillahi ta'ala. Did you enter the salat? No. Once you say Allahu Akbar, takbiratul ihram, that means you're entering the state of sanctity, that you cannot talk to anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you're locked inside your salah. And how will you get out? You'll get out with one of the invalidators of salah. What is one of the invalidators of salah? Talking to the people. So you start talking to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To talk to Masumin alayhi salam and the Ibadullah Salihin, Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah Salihin, and then talk to the community around you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So talking invalidates your salah, but at the end of the salah, you are permissible to do one of the invalidators of salah to exit out of it. Same thing here. Cutting the hair is prohibited in the state of ihram. So, but once you are done with the manasik of Umrah or Hajj, then you need to do that invalidator. It's permissible at the end to get you out. Do something against to get you out, unlock you from the state of ihram. So, and that's why many times our mu'mineen, they have bromance kind of thing. They just want to do for each other. Let me cut your, I cut you. No, Baba. You cut yours and let him cut his. Or you cut yours first, because you are not allowed to cut others. The exemption came for you to get out of the state of ihram. You cannot cut other people's hair. Or some guy who's engaged to his wife, and no, my wife no kapis bal. He's very anxious, and they're in honeymoon, and he just puts his hand under the abba and clips. Oh, no. First clip your hair. First get out of your ihram, then do your fancy stuff with fiancé or whatever, like your honeymoon wife. Or so you have to make sure that you first get out of your state of ihram, then go and donate yourself to cut other people. And other thing, the women, many times the women, they take out their chotli, or they take out that ponytail. Sheikh, can I cut this one? No. It's hair. Cover your hair. No, they should clip their hair from underneath the hijab, underneath they should not take their hair out so their husband can clip it or something like that. So anyhow, this is the 4 labbaiks that locks you in, and what gets you out is clipping the hair. And it is must. Without this, you are not entering the state of ihram. Once is must. So labbaik 1, Allahumma labbaik 2, labbaika 3, La sharika laka labbaik. Once you say these 4, you're locked in. Without saying it, you are not locked in. And then the rest is mustahab. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika laka labbaik. These are all recommendations, but this is the main thing, the pillar. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and saying it properly. Remember, only 2 things you utter in your Hajj and Umrah. What are those? Labbaik and the Salat of Tawaf. They're obligatory to be uttered. Uttered not with the voice like Salat. You can pray it silently, but you need to say it, vocal things, or you have to speak out. So once you do this, now it is mustahab to continue labbaik until you see the border of the haram, or here it's mentioned that for us, if you are going to do the second, third Umrah, so we stop repeating until we see houses of Makkah. But when we are coming from Jeddah or from Ta'if, I mean from Juhfa or from Ta'if, so we repeat, okay, 2 hours is very difficult to be repeating this. Many people, after they repeat 10, 15 times, they sleep, they start snoring and those kind of things. And so it's like a kind of sleeping pill as well, as I've observed. And it also makes me sleepy when you say it like 100 times, or maybe more than 100, khalas, you're tired, your tongue is dry, your energy is gone, and you have to keep some energy for the tawaf. So basically, 4 is wajib, finish, and locks you in. The rest is mustahab, okay? So for men, the minimum are 2 obligatory pieces of ihram. These are independent from the intention of entering the state of ihram. So when you say, I'm wearing the dress of ihram, that is wajib of wearing the dress of ihram. And after you're done with wearing of the ihram, you come and say, I'm entering the state of ihram, I'm becoming muhrim, uhrimu, even in Arabic, uhrimu, mush albis thawb al-ihram. Albis thawb al-ihram, I'm wearing the dress of ihram. That's a wajib, independent. But when you say in Arabic, I'm entering the state of ihram, you say, uhrimu, I am becoming muhrim. للعمرة المفردة وجوبا قربة الله تعالى أو قربة الله تعالى. If you have done another, you can say wujuban, no problem. It becomes impure, instant purification or replacing it would be required. So that's why you always keep 1 extra piece with you, obligatory precaution. In case if you're not able to purify it, replace it. For women, it is the regular clothing, i.e. the regular, normal, proper hijab, not the glittery and flashy and pink color, red color hijab and those kind of things. No, regular hijab. The conditions of ihram, conditions of the attire of ihram is similar to the attire of salah. Should not be from non-edible animal, blah, blah, blah. Just, we don't want to go into those kind of details. Khalas. We'll wear this white cloth, fabric, finish. No skin, no nothing, goat skin or whatever. Does not need to be continuously on that. Many people, they get, in summer especially, they get hot, so they take off their upper piece, you see. So you can remove that upper, you don't have to keep it. And you can do amal also without the top part, you see, because private parts should be covered every time in public. So, okay, so this is something serious. Prohibitions of ihram, the things which are which violate your ihram. So these are categorized. Some prohibitions, they invalidate your hajj, they invalidate your umrah, they invalidate your umrah mufrada, kiss your hajj, umrah, whatever, goodbye. These are some of the 25 things. Other 25 things, no. They don't invalidate your hajj, but they cause a penalty, kafara. First, invalidate plus kafara, penalty. Here, no invalidation, fix it, kafara only. The third invalidators, there is no kafara. Some say just give a few things, but many of these invalidators, they don't have kafara. So if you do it intentionally, deliberately, you have to at least do istighfar. So 3 of them, istighfar required, if done intentionally. 3 of them, 1 group, penalty plus kissing the umrah goodbye. Inshallah, will not do that. Other one, only, and keeping your umrah. Third one, no penalty, no kissing your umrah goodbye, but istighfar only. So So this is the bad news, that you have 25 things. And among them, some are like danger, red zone area. It's not just like your Hajj kiss and goodbye. You have to slaughter a camel. The cost of camel nowadays is around $5,000, something like that, especially in the season. So it's same cost of your Hajj. So the Hajj gone, double gone. So those things are like having relations with your spouse and spousal relations. So just keep that camel away from your Hajj and Umrah. So that's the other thing. So now the good news. The good news is that all those 25 things, if done unintentionally, unknowingly, okay, your Umrah is okay. There is no kafara on it. There is no penalty. However, there are four, they cause penalty, even unintentionally. Okay. So what are the four? Just keep this in your mind. If you forget others, no problem, but these don't forget. Okay. So obviously number 1 and 2 are not for us. It is for Umrah Tamattu, for Hajj. And again, look, private relations. And look, cow. You have to give a cow, though you were unintentional. So you have to slaughter a cow. So keep the cow and the camels away. Intentionally a camel, unintentionally a cow. Keep those animals away from your list. Okay. So now we come to these two. Okay. What are these two? If someone unnecessarily swiped his hand over his head or beard or hand, wherever, and a hair or a two came out. So there is a penalty. But it was unintentional, yes. But this is unintentional done. Thank God that 25 things, inshallah, only two are only you have to pay penalty, or which are encountered. That's why I highlighted it. It's my encounter. So what happens when you come back? Give poor, like 5 kgs of rice, 5 kgs of food. You just give them, let them be satisfied. Whatever, ya Allah, hair fell out of me, okay, I'm giving the poor this penalty. Because you are not going to count your hair with the clipper, oh, ek bal avi, bijo bal ati, trijo bal. No, just a lump sum, handful of food, just give it to the poor. So that's not a big deal. At least it's not a cow or a camel, okay? Now, another thing, if someone places perfumed oil, even for medical necessity, on the basis of obligatory precaution, the penalty would be feeding the poor. So oil and those Vaseline, you can put. Many people, when they walk, they get these rashes between the thighs. You can put, because Vaseline does not have smell, perfume smell. We're talking perfume smell. If you're going to put olive oil or something like that, which is nasty smell, that's fine. Don't put something which is perfumed or perfumed smell. That's perfumed oil, placing it, that even for medical reason, it's going to be like, some of those strong gels which have like very strong, powerful painkiller. Yeah, but if it's painkiller necessary to do it, then just feed the poor. So these are out of all the 25 things, these are the two dangerous areas. Because those cows and camels are for Hajj Tamattu, okay? But here, this is just like 2 things for Umrah. This was main thing. Now, let me just quickly wrap up today's session. It's getting late, and inshallah, next week we'll continue. Okay. So these are 25 things. You don't have to memorize them. Just keep in your mind what you might encounter for these. Blue color is for men. Color is for women. And remember the red thing, this red cow and camel kind of thing, and applying the oil and removing the hair. Okay, so these things are red zone. Obviously you are not going to do this, but at least these two you might encounter. So these are the things you really need to be worried about, because this will be having penalty even unintentionally. All the other things unintentionally, there is no kafara except for this red. So that is a good news, alhamdulillah. So these blue things, yes, blue things are for men, and these pink are for women. And see, only women, they have only one thing, and men, they have 3 things, 4 things, and yet they say Islam does not have this equal rights or whatever rights. So we are pampering the women. I mean, only no, two things. No, this is not for only for women lying, swearing. This should be yellow. It's for everybody. Okay, but only they have this. They cannot cover their faces. Okay, if they want to do hijab, they can just keep it away from the face. They should not like chotari, like they should not like do it like this. So what happened? Like for example, consider I'm wearing a baseball cap. So if you wear baseball cap, it is not touching your face. You see, it is away from your face. So if those people, because in Saudi many women, the Shias and Sunnis, they wear niqab. So those niqabi women, they don't want to remove their niqab, so they wear baseball cap. You will see them during the tawaf. They have this something baseball or that sun protection under the head, and then they put this niqab over it. Okay, so basically this we are going to discuss next week in troubleshootings. But as I said, the good thing is that only these two things are, even if unintentionally, you will have to pay kafar. And what's the kafara? Feeding the poor. The rest of the things, if they are done unintentionally, there'll be nothing. So, but if you say, no, I'm not going to learn, then you have intentionally done it. So just learn it, things which you might encounter, things you might not encounter. If you have a habit of biting your nails, just make sure that you are aware of this. Okay. If shaded, under the shaded Hui followers, they will have to give a kafara, because we will be going under the shaded. But Sistani followers at night time, they will not have kafara because the bus is now closed. Agalma, we used to go on the top. Now everybody, Hui, Sistani, everybody inside the bus in the night time. So Hui, you have to pay kafara. No problem. We are majboor here. We are not intentionally doing it. We are compelled to do, but we will have to slaughter a goat whenever we come back. We can give it to the poor community. Looking into the mirror in the hotel, for example, in Makkah, you arrive. So looking into mirror for the purpose of beautification, not any looking into the mirror. You see, people, driver, he looks into the mirror, but for beautification, that you look handsome, smart, your hairs are not, maybe you're not married, you want to get married. We might find, inshallah, a good hijabi, umrah, haji wife. So just don't handsome yourself. Keep yourself rugby shugby, and don't fix your hair and do like those. No, no, no. Just leave your hair like you're getting out of the grave. When you're getting out of the grave, nobody will give you mirror or comb or something like that. You will be rugby shugby. Okay, so just be like that as you are coming to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's accounting day. And that is going to be something which we are going to talk more about, the ruhaniyat of this umrah, because we want to get something spiritual out of it beside these wajibat. Okay, then we come to Makkah, tawaf around the Kaaba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us as soon as possible. So basically, if you can see my arrow, I'm going to do the tawaf here. Okay, you start from Hajar al-Aswad, and there's a green line on the ground. You could not miss it. All the way it goes to Mount Safa. So Mount Safa is parallel to Hajar al-Aswad. Okay. So once you finish the tawaf, everything, you're lost. You don't know where do you go to Safa and Marwa? Just go straight all the way from Hajar al-Aswad. So we start, and we don't start like I stand on the green line and block the traffic and I have to start from. No, 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 no. Just start somewhere here. Enter here, and your intention is already there. You don't stand here, I'm doing tawaf. People will knock you down, you see. So just do, your intention is there. Once you come here, start going with the flow, and make your inside your heart, once I'm coming in the Hajar, beside the Hajar, so there'll be my first round. So you go like this between Maqam Ibrahim and Kaaba. It is mustahab. However, if it is crowded, even if it's not crowded, you can take this route. But normally people they don't want to take too much, because the outer you go, the longer time it will take. So, and the reason is people want to finish this tawaf because you don't want to encounter Salat Jama'ah of Isha or Salat Jama'ah of Dhuhrain or Salat Jama'ah and your tawaf gets messed up. Those are rules of troubleshooting we are going to discuss next week. But please don't make any problems in tawaf. Just do the tawaf, count the tawaf properly. Any doubts in count of tawaf create serious problems. So I'll show you how to keep your count and track. And go two people. Don't go group. We will not go group. Okay, two people. They will do tawaf together. So one forgets, another reminds. One keeps the count. One reads the du'as. Because if we go bulk, it's not good. If we go one by one, we might encounter forgetting it. So two people, if they are couples, they can go husband and wife. Remember, wife is your wife and husband is your husband. The relations have become blocked, but you can touch your wife without lust. All the lustful activity between the spouse is blocked, okay, prohibited. Not touching, and so you're still mahram. She's your mahram and you're her mahram. You're still, you have this husband and wife relation. Okay, so you both can do tawaf together and one can keep the count, one can do the dua. So that is number one round. Don't go inside this. It's Hajr Ismail. It's said that it's a grave of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and Hajar and about 70 prophets. Regardless, we cannot go inside this white area. So we have to go bypass it. Okay. So that's number one. Number two. And once I come here, I'm starting number 3. I'm coming here starting number 4. And once I come 7, I go a little bit. I cross Hajar al-Aswad. Don't leave just like that. You may miss the small part of tawaf. So just cross it as a precautionary measure and then go behind Maqam Ibrahim, pray 2 rakats, salat of tawaf. Now, some of the obligations. You see this base foundation of Kaaba. This is part of the Kaaba. You cannot do tawaf on it. If you do tawaf on it or you stand on it just to kiss the Kaaba, go back a little bit and then continue. Let's say somebody pushed you and because you should not face the Kaaba totally and you should not give your back to the Kaaba totally. So your left arm should be facing the Kaaba. Now you don't have to bring like the scale and oh, my left arm is like, oh my goodness, 1 centimeter off. No. Don't complicate yourself. The Prophet ﷺ did in some cases on camel. And where can you put this accuracy in camel? So Maraja, they say that the like so delicate accuracy is not required. Peculiarity. No, just what does that mean? You can face the Kaaba like this. You can, if you want to look that side, you can give your head, but don't totally the Kaaba is here. Now, for example, I'm giving my right shoulder to the Kaaba. Don't become like this or don't totally give the back. So if somebody pushes you and you move your you become like facing the Kaaba, go back a few steps. Now going back the few steps, how can I go back? The stampede is coming from behind me. No problem. There are 3 ways. Number 1, you just, if it's few steps, you just go few steps. Try to excuse people to go, and you don't have to go like backwards, reverse. You can just face and go backwards. So you go backwards. Or if the stampede is coming, you go like this, you see, out of Maqam Ibrahim, come back here where you pushed and continue. Or if it is too crowded, like in Hajj days, then just continue this dummy round. Don't consider it part of your tawaf where you were pushed and continue. Okay, just be careful. Don't mess up with your rounds in this. So that's why I prefer, even if you have to go this far and come back, it's better than doing one like dummy round and then you, the fifth, then we have a problem. So this is number 1. So don't touch anything. Now, some things you touch from the Kaaba, it's mustahab like Hajar al-Aswad. Just don't touch. Some areas when you touch, your tawaf becomes invalid. And when you touch also, you are like, you might be facing the Kaaba. So even if you get to touch it, just go few steps back and complete the, like you touch this mustajar, okay, where it is said that this is the birth entrance of Fatima salamullah alayha. So if let's say you touch this area, go few steps back and continue. Okay, this is according to the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So Hajr Ismail, no touching, this no touching. Because some ulamas, they say, it's just don't touch anything. Okay, once you are done with your tawaf, super glue yourself on your Kaaba, on the door, on the Hajar Aswad, the Mustajar, whatever, just super glue, that's fine. But finish your wajib tawaf, and then whatever you want to glue yourself, okay? So that is something which is about tawaf around the Kaaba. And remember the wudu. There's no wajib in Hajj and Umrah that requires wudu except two, tawaf and the salat of tawaf. After you do that, you come behind Maqam Ibrahim, you pray Salat al-Tawaf as Salat al-Fajr. Be careful that if there are ladies beside you praying, then your Salat al-Tawaf is gone. Your Salat al-Tawaf is gone, your Sa'i is gone. Your Sa'i is gone, your Taqsir is gone, and you're stuck in the Ihram. So make sure that the ladies are praying independent area and gents are praying in the independent. Just make sure that you find a spot. Because one of the moment he was praying, and then finally, oh my goodness, Sheikh, what should I do? I said, go and pray. So find cluster of guys, pray in the middle, okay, of these guys. Don't leave room that a lady, she's looking for a spot and she comes, she finds a nice warm spot beside you and she prays at her 2 rakats. So don't do like that. It's not about discrimination. It's about the rules of the ladies. They have their respect. So that's why Islam doesn't want them to be mingled with men, because they are doing ruku, sujood. So all these, this whole process of salah needs to be respected for them, for the women. So that's why Islam made tough rules for men and women praying side by side, because Islam doesn't want those men who has some wrong intention to look indecent to the women praying. So anyhow, that's another thing. So basically, this is the tawaf. So how many things we have done? We did the ihram. We are in the state of ihram. We did the labbaik. We locked ourselves. We came to Makkah. We did the intention before starting. So because we will not have time to focus on niyyah properly. So once we start, now we have our intention in our heart. Vocalization of intention is mustahab, but saying it, and I mean, but it's sufficient to have the intention in the heart. So, and then we said that we do 7 rounds, no touching of anything, even the recommended touching, keep it afterwards, because you don't want to go on Shadar one, this base of the Kaaba, and touch the base of the Kaaba and whatever. Just stay away from the Kaaba while you're doing tawaf. And then Maqam Ibrahim. So we are done. Now we go to this another sketch. You'll get this PowerPoint presentation. So you cannot go inside Hajr Ismail, this arch. Okay. So what happens now? Let's say you are doing tawaf. So once you come here, your right shoulder or left shoulder is out. So once you come here, you start maneuvering yourself in a way that you are going towards these two. There are 2 pillars in front of you, like you're going towards 2 pillars. You see, like that. Then you maneuver yourself like this. And again, when you come back, there are 2 pillars here in this side. So just look at like you're going towards 2 pillars, and then you maneuver yourself like this. So these 2 areas, make sure, again, the accuracy. Oh, 1 centimeter, my left arm shoulder went out of oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Like, no, like you were for significant time, like you took 2-3 steps in that position. So it's better to come back and do your proper tawaf. So just make sure that you maneuver yourself, okay, like this, and then you maneuver yourself. So when you come to this arch, you'll make a V tawaf, like you'll go like this. Let me see if I can make a V. Okay, here. Okay, so I'm doing my tawaf, and I start making a V. So see, my left shoulder is, and then I start making a V. Obviously, don't let me just get out of Hajar Ismail. We don't want to touch Hajar Ismail. So I start making my V, and then I start making my V, and then I move like this. So you see this area, my V was all the way, left shoulder was to the Kaaba. Okay? So this is, once we are done with the, we pray behind Maqam Ibrahim. Okay? Well, as I said, just go like a little bit here, and then come behind Maqam Ibrahim. Pray to Rakat Maqam Ibrahim here, facing the Kaaba. After that, so this is Maqam Ibrahim, and this is Hajar al-Aswad. Opposite of Hajar al-Aswad, exactly is this green line. You will see green light on this pillar also. It shows that this is the Mount Safa. Okay, so this is Mount Safa. Once you come to the Mount Safa, what will happen? That you will go to Marwa. Now, there is a new extended area where many of our scholars, even Agha Sistani, says you cannot do sa'i in this. So if you can do basement, that will be great. Inshallah, we will see, because if basement, they have built a fence in the middle, then what will happen? That we have to start the sa'i from this and then go like this, because the sa'i needs to be between two mountains. There's no mountain here. There's no mountain here. This new area is somewhere like this. Let me just make the new area on this, so we are all aware about the new area. So this is the new area. And the new area has been kept for going and coming. The mount is here. The mount is here. So basically, you are not facing Safa, Marwa when you're going. But when you're coming back, you're okay. Now, what to do here? Agha Sistan says, you start from here. Don't start from here. Start from Mount Safa and slowly, slowly come on this side. So you started from Safa. No problem. Walk here. But then you start maneuver yourself to go facing Marwa. Finish. Problem solved. Not a big deal. Many people they say, oh, it's difficult. No, there's no complication. You start from Safa, then the walk, you can't walk on this side where people are coming. This is the wrong side. So once you come to close to Marwa, start maneuvering yourself in a way that you are facing Marwa. Finish. This one is easy. Coming back. So this is Safa and Marwa. Keep note of your questions. Inshallah, we are going, because you know, if Safa and Marwa is wrong, then you are still locked. Then you do taqsir, you are still inside your ihram because your sa'i was not right. So the sa'i, no too many things, complications. Just when you come to Marwa, in this case, face Marwa. And when you are coming to Safa, face Safa. You can rest, you can do a lot of, the wajib is to do this walk, and that's it. Now, let me give you some technical things about, this is Hajar Ismail, how it looks like. Okay, from here. And this is the base of Kaaba. You should not touch it. You should not go on it. Okay. Now, let me give you some technical things about not missing your tawaf, because since we're tawaf, before I go to sa'i, let me just give you something which will secure your tawaf, inshallah. And this is very important because doubts and forgetfulness, complicated masail. Go like half before half, after half. Okay. So if you promise me you are not going to mess up in the count of your tawaf, I will not teach you those complicated rules. But if you go tell me, oh, Sheikh, I made it, then I'll have to give you a special class, because many people they secure their count. So how will I do? For example, number one, easiest thing, surahs. Choose 7 surahs. Program it in your mind. Every umrah I will do, I am going to recite these 7 surahs. Okay? Which surahs? Charqul, Surah An-Nas, Surah Al-Falaq. So first round, I will keep reciting Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas. Sorry, V. See, this one went out. Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas, Surah An-Nas. I'm coming to, I have programmed myself, I've written it. The second round will be Surah Al-Falaq. So I start reciting Surah Al-Falaq. These are so powerful surahs, you know, min sharri ma khalaq, from the evil of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Surah Al-Falaq, and I'm done with Surah Al-Falaq, reciting. And then I take the Surah Al-Tawheed, Al-Ikhlas, and especially it's a beautiful place to recite the Tawheed Surah, oneness of God. Ikhlas, recite surah, recite until you are done. Start Surah Al-Qadr, powerful spiritual surah. So, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr, again. So, and then we have Surah Al-Fatiha, okay? And then you can choose Al-Kawthar, things which everybody memorizes it. And what surah? Surah Al-Asr, Surah Al-Asr. These are 7 surahs. Any surah you can program yourself, okay? You don't have to stick to this. This is the easiest way to keep count. So if I'm reciting Surah Al-Kawthar and I doubt, is this like my 5th or 7th? No, Surah Al-Kawthar means 7th round, okay? I have to finish it. Or you can start with Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Qadr, and then whatever. You program yourself, make a set. So this is the easiest way to keep the count of your tawaf, because you are uttering the dhikr of Allah continuously. And the best dhikr of Allah is the surah Quran. Okay, this is one thing. Let me just another thing, azkar, mentionings. Keep yourself, 7 mentionings. What are the 7 mentionings? 7 mentionings like salawat, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. First round, salawat. Second round, tasbihat arba'a. Tasbihat al-arba'a. Subhanallah walhamdulillah. Keep saying it until you. Third round, you see, you can say la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Fourth round, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Okay. Fifth round, we have so many dhikrs. Okay. You can say we have tasbih, we have istighfar, we have la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, we have hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. You go look into taqibat of Salat al-Subh, you'll find those 7 dhikrs of our Anbiya taken from the Quran. Powerful Quranic du'as. Okay. Or anything, just program yourself. Take Rabbanat. Rabbana atina, Rabbana la tuzigh qalubana, those Rabbanat, and keep mentioning those. So Quran, reciting the Quran, reciting the dhikr, just keep yourself busy in dhikr. If you cannot read the du'as, if you cannot find the du'as, don't complicate yourself too much. And then I'm going to send, inshallah, in our group, the 7 du'as of tawaf. So what happens normally? You recite that. Those dua is short. It takes 2-3 minutes. You keep reciting it. Or you can mix and merge. You can make your own, like round number 1, then with dua number of Surah Al-Fatiha, and then with the Surah Al-Fatiha, I'll recite tasbih of salawat. Keep repeating these things. You will make 5-6 rounds of these things and you'll be done with your first round. Tawaf, normally, if there's no crowd, it takes about 15 minutes, normally. And if it's crowd, it might go to half an hour to 45 minutes. But keep yourself with the dhikr. Trust me, these dhikr, Quranic ayat or surahs is so powerful that you will enjoy the tawaf. Okay, so that is number 1. Some mu'minin, what they do, they take Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. They start, because they never open. Most of the people never open Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. So they recite Munajat number 1 for first round, Munajat number 2 for second round. So they know that there are 7 Munajat I have to finish. There's one mu'min, he went for Hajj, he took his whole Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. Whenever tawaf, he will recite the du'as of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah, mark the paper. Okay. How? Like, for example, if you are doing this, where did my thingy go? Yes. So, for example, your book of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah can be your marker. How? So, let's say this is my book of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. This is my book of Sahif al-Kowajiyah. Let's say. So, I finished. Round 1, mark it. My first tawaf. Then I finished round 2. This page, mark it. This is my second tawaf. So keep, when you finish your tawaf or sa'i, keep marking it. So finally, you know, oh, I have 7 marked. I'm done with my tawaf or my sa'i. So this is also one of the things where mu'minin, keep yourself preoccupied with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. And dua kume, people they recite dua kume and they keep folding the papers of dua kume. That done. For you who have a cell phone, you recited this page of dua kume and tawaf end, you make a screenshot. Done. This is first tawaf. Make another screenshot. 2. So you have 7 screenshots, 7 tawaf done. There's so many technical ways. I know you are more smarter than me, that you might have much better technical things to keep the count of your tawaf. Okay, but it's an opportunity to do dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, don't miss it out. Many people, they choose tawaf and they watch here and watch there and watch people. No, Baba, you are here, the house of God. When you come to my house, you talk to me. You go to house of God, talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who has invited you and his under his hospitality, your presence is. So talk to him. He loves to listen to your talk. So this is something which was about keeping the count, be it in the sa'i. So after you did Maqam Ibrahim, you did the sa'i, and I mentioned the sa'i. This is how the mas'a looks. So this is the new part. So basically, what you will do, let's say this is Safa. So Safa is here. This is the Mount Safa. Here there is no Safa. So you cannot start the sa'i from here. So you start the sa'i from here, and this is the barrier. Okay, so this is coming, this is going. So what happens, you start from here and start going this side, this side, this side, until you go here. Okay, and once you are coming to Marwa, start maneuvering yourself towards Marwa. So you will be making like a curve kind of thing. Not necessarily, the main thing is you start from Safa and then you come to Marwa and you face the Marwa, like the angle I showed you. And then there is this green things, this green. This is it mustahab for men to jog. Okay, harwala. These are mustahabbat. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want to make sure that we are not coming back to our homeland and we are locked still in the ihram. That's my main task here. Okay. Inshallah, we'll discuss recommendations next week. So this is about sa'i. Once you come to Marwa, here, you'll do the taqsir. Now, I took from my camera some nice images of Safa and Marwa from the basement, because at that time, basement did not have this middle wall. So you could just go in between the two mountains. I don't know now the basement they have kept the middle wall or not. If they have kept the middle wall, then the same whatever goes up to down. So you see from the basement, you can see all the edges of the mountain, the whole. So you can start just from the mountain, wherever Mount Safa starts, and then you reach Marwa. You see Marwa from the top floor, you just see tip of Marwa. The Mount Marwa is small. The whole mountain you see from the basement. Okay, so you come here on your 7th round and you clip your hair. Why will you clip your hair? Uqassir. I'm doing taqsir. Men and women, they do taqsir, either nail or either hair for beard, hair. أقصر للإحلال. That was what? أحرم إحرام. I am entering the state. Here, I am making things halal upon me. I'm getting out. The reason I'm doing taqsir is to unlock myself from the ihram. أقصر للإحلال من إحرام العمرة المفردة. If niyaba, bin niyaba an fulan, fulan, fulan. Okay? قربة لله تعالى. As I mentioned, the niyat will be inside your heart, but you need to be aware what you are doing and why are you doing. So this awareness should be in the heart when you do these kind of things. And that's so we can take the clothes, come with regular clothes and do the tawaf al-nisa. However, nowadays there are new rules that if you are going to come back to the tawaf with regular clothes, they will not allow you. Men are not allowed to enter the main tawaf area. They will tell you go on the top floor, and then again tawaf al-nisa will be if you from the top floor, if you're above the Kaaba, that is not valid. if you can see the Kaaba, like the Kaaba wall, the top floor, you can see the Kaaba wall. So if here, no, here, okay, here, okay. So you can do the tawaf as long as you can. So there's a Mizanian I heard that you can just go do tawaf on the top floor. However, just do it as long as you are in the dress of Ihram, finish your sa'i and do tawaf in Nisa, finish it off. So same thing, just intention is different. The tawaf in Nisa is same like tawaf al-Umrah. The intention is different. And you can do it second day, third day, fourth day, okay? So that will not kiss your tawaf goodbye. It will kiss your relations with your wife goodbye, okay? So as long as you have not done, you'll have to send somebody, you'll have to ask somebody, you have to go. And next time you do the tawaf in Nisa. So it's better just complete the package in one go and don't leave anything on next day, because next day we will have the tawaf of Umrah again. For those who are willing to do, it's not compulsory, it's something many people, they go there, they say we are here, instead of just doing regular tawaf, let's do Umrah for our beloved ones, those who have done favors upon us. Anyhow, so this is what I call sandwich. What is sandwich? Tawaf al-Umrah, Salat Tawaf al-Umrah behind Maqam. Maqam Ibrahim is the stone which has footsteps of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And then Sa'i between Safa and Marwa, and then you clip off your hair, Marwa, and then you come back. Some people, they want to be smart. They say, Sheikh, I'm in the tawaf. Why should I go to the sa'i and come back? Let me just do tawaf in Nis, tawaf al-Umrah and tawaf in Nisa and finish it off. I said, no, sandwich. Bread, and then butter, meat, burger, whatever, and then bread. Your bread is your tawaf. And your burger, your kebab is your sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Okay? Remember, don't go against your sandwich. Then you will have to kiss the relation goodbye, because your tawaf in Nisa is invalid. Tawaf in Nisa has to come after the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. So this is the sandwich. Remember, if you're going to try to outsmart the Sharia, then you will be suffering. So that's why just do it in the sequence. Tawaf al-Umrah, Salat Tawaf al-Umrah, Sa'i, Taqsir, and then Tawaf al-Nisa and Salat Tawaf al-Nisa. I think it's our time is over, and inshallah we are going to, by the way, inshallah, next week I'm going to give you a quiz. So now we open the floor for questions. If there are any questions, please let me know before we end our session. Bismillah. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Oh, there are a few questions, I think so, in the chat. Let me see. What do you mean by nadhar? Nadhar is vow. Like if I'm making an obligation upon myself for Allah that I will do this. For example, I will pray Salat al-Layl. For example, I'll pray Salat Jafar. This is called absolute nadhar. Once you do that, you have to do it. If you don't do it, you pay penalty. Okay? Because you made a commitment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is what we call the nadhar. Sometimes nadhar are conditional. Oh God, if I pass my test, I am making upon myself that I will pray, for example, Salat Ja'far bin Abi Talib. So if you pass, you will have to. Or I will do 15 Sha'ban Roza, or I'll visit Imam Rida alayhi salam, or I will do this. I will do anything which is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you get what you wanted, then you have to give what you promised. So that is nadhar. So basically, you make something obligation upon yourself through this contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So ihram from miqat, you don't need nadhar. However, from other than miqat, okay, from other than miqat, before miqat, you will need to, if you are planning to enter the state of ihram, you will need to. So basically, you make something obligation upon yourself through this. Okay, you will have to do it through nadhar. So this is, I hope this was clear. So you're allowed to have a book. Yes, book. Tawaf, cell phone. You can read your du'as and munajat and everything in your cell phone. You see, on your books. I don't think so. I don't know cell phones are allowed or not, but I see people, they with their cell phones, they take selfies and send it to me. So cell phones are allowed. So all your du'as are in this thing. So download there's a du'as.org. They have lots of du'as of your mustahabbat of Umrah. But du'as of the rounds of tawaf, I don't know, it's there on du'as.org or not. So I'm going to send it to you on our WhatsApp group. Yes, tawafun nisa is not because you're married or not married. Tawafun nisa is obligation, whether you're married or not. If you don't do, your Umrah will be okay. But then you will not be able to get married. Okay? Then you will have to find somebody to go Umrah, you go Umrah, and you do the Tawaf and Nisa. Then marriage contract cannot be established. One of the 25 things are marriage contract. So Tawaf and Nisa is everything related to spousal relations or establishing spousal relations by marriage contract. So it is called Tawaf an Nisa, but it is wajib for men so that their women can be halal, for women so that their men can be halal. So it's all focused around women. And then also if you are doing niyaba for the mayyat, it is not that you enter the state of ihram, your marhum, they will stop. Your son is in ihram, you stay away from the huriyat. Angels will not tell them like that. And if you don't do tawaf in nisa, your uncle or your great grandfather will not be stuck in his no. It's you, it's going to affect you, not the marhum. Marhum will get reward. His huriyat will be with them. But you are going to be the one who's going to be affected. Okay, so we have a question here. If you have done Umrah before many years ago and now again being granted the tawaf with the niyat of niyat, you have to make it again. Yeah, on Umrah, because one Umrah is wajib. So if you have already done with Hajj, every Umrah you will do will be mustahab. If you have not done Hajj, then the first Umrah will be wajib and all the second Umrah will be mustahab. And it is, remember the hadith we mentioned in the beginning, the one who is abundant, does addicted to Umrah. Allah loves people who come to Hajj and Umrah. So Allah guarantees no poverty if they do it sincerely, obviously. So yes, you can do your own Umrah, and you can do multiple niyats as well on your behalf, as long as it's not wajib, mustahab thing, like ziyarat mustahab can be done on behalf of so many people, living and dead people. So this also can be done. And yes, including Imam Zamana also, marhumin, you can do all these things. Tawaf al-Nisa, yes. Tawaf, package, salat. You do tawaf, Salat al-Tawaf is lazim. See the sandwich I showed you. Maybe you did not look at the sandwich properly. There's no mustard on it or ketchup. So I'm going to let you look at the sandwich back again. Okay. See, Tawaf, Salat al-Tawaf. It's Maqam Ibrahim. Sa'i, Salat al-Nisa, Tawaf al-Nisa, Salat. This Maqam Ibrahim represents Tawaf. So your sandwich is complete. Bread, cheese, and between there is this hairy burger. Okay. Okay, let's see. Tawaf in Nisa and Salah is also mandatory. Wudu, yes, obviously. It's wajib. So make sure that the wudu is okay. Safa, how close to get to the mountain before turning? Same for Marwa. So Safa, how close to get to mountain? Yeah. Just touch your feet. I mean, because the whole thing, you see, this is mountain, and then there is this platform, you see. So the platform is partly on the mountain. But normally you want to do ihtiyat, touch your feet with the edge of one of the rocks. That's fine, just as a precautionary measure. And also where to run. There are green pillars, I showed you. Let me see again. I'll show you back again that image. You will see the green pillars. See this greenish color? Let me just use my pen and to make it properly green. There, this whole tube lights are green. This green is a bit faded. So the first green you start jogging, and the second green you stop jogging. Okay, so you are walking, you start jogging in first, and then you start walking in the second. And you will see nowadays, I heard that they have made some tube lights on the ceilings as well, and they're flashing and blinking and something like that. So that is something which is recommended. It's not wajib. It's not wajib. It's recommended. Okay. So, but recommended means you get thawab. Why are you there? You're there to get the maximum amount of thawab. So do as much as recommended, but don't miss up those wajib, which will keep you stuck in your ihram. So all the salah have to be done at behind Maqam Ibrahim as much as you can, okay? Not anywhere. Recommended tawaf, yes. Wajib tawaf behind Maqam Ibrahim. Recommended wherever you want, you can do. But wajib tawaf behind Maqam Ibrahim. So the more farther you go, make sure that Maqam Ibrahim is in front of you. Like for example, let's go back to our illustration. And let's see an image which shows us yeah. So basically this is Maqam Ibrahim. Okay. So wherever you find a spot here, in a way that Maqam Ibrahim is in front of you. Some ulamas, they allow an angle. But Agha Sistani says, just make sure that Maqam Ibrahim is in front of you. If you have crowd here, for example, okay, you have crowd here, go here. You have crowd here, go here. As long as Maqam Ibrahim is in front of you, footsteps of Prophet Ibrahim salamullah alayhi. Okay, let's see another question. Or can be done. If you're not sure on count 3 or 4 tawaf, can you just repeat? No. That's troubleshooting. That next week. I don't want to open that portal now. First, so yeah, please do not mess up in your counts. I have given you so many technical ways, alhamdulillah. So yeah, the best thing is that there are some cases you complete the old and then start anew. In some cases, you just start a new one. Okay. So we are going to discuss this next week, when to complete and make a new, or when to just forget that old tawaf and get a new one. Same thing, recitation Safa, Marwa. There are du'as to be recited on Safa before we start Safa and Marwa. Okay. But same thing, you have your Sahif al-Sajjadiyah with you, the munajat of our Aimma alims, du'as of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. And one of the mu'mineen, he finished the Sahif al-Sajjadiyah every day, he will go and he'll try. And if you have a translation, try to feel the du'a, not just read it in Arabic. Take the English translation, try to feel the words and the beauty of the words while you are in this great place of spirituality and hospitality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Try to bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your maximum capacity, spiritual capacity. So obviously, same thing, you recite those dhikrs which you have appointed for salat, programmed yourself, or you recite Sahif al-Sajjadiyah, dua by dua, mention that this dua is going to be for first round, this dua is going. So from first beginning of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah, and you've come half of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah, when you come next time, Umrah, completed at that time. Yes, so could you please, how to do wudu in case your wudu gets batin? That's inshallah going to be in our next session, because today our time is done. Yes, bottle of wudu and all those technicality, but make sure that the spray which you use for bottle of wudu puts like water in your chillu, in your palm, not like spray and you spread the spray. There needs to be water pouring process, not you spray the water and the spray you wipe it. No, spray in a way that you fill your hand and you pour, and then you do that wudu. That's one of the problems where people, they do their wudu wrong. Um, okay. So you can carry some water like splash bottle. Yeah, depends on how the splash are. If they're sprinkly splash and they wet your hand, no. If they are like squirty, like they throw water in your hand, yeah, that's a good one. It's possible, show practical way. Inshallah, next week, bidnillahi ta'ala. Can you recite the translation? Yes, obviously, that's the best thing to do, to recite the translation, to feel, as I mentioned, to feel the the du'as, to feel the dhikr. Obviously, salawat translation, you know it in your mind. But the du'as of Imam Salamullah alayh, this is an opportunity for you. Sahif al-Sajjadi, which you have never opened it in your life, except for those few munajat and few du'as of my Ramadan, this is your opportunity to open. Go du'a by du'a. You will enjoy it. And I think this Divine Pearls, they have also the Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. And du'as.org app also, they have Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. Okay, any other question before we close? It's already 2 o'clock here. And inshallah, we pray. Now, those who want a session in Urdu, please send me on WhatsApp, private. I want to see how many of those are they need, because if I'm going to announce and the people who want in Urdu are not here, then so if you have understood, that's fine. If you have not understood, I can do a session entirely in Urdu, inshallah. So let me know on WhatsApp so I can arrange a date and a time. So in case tomorrow, like the time we started today, we can have an Urdu session for those people who did not understand today's session. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take us there and to allow us His hospitality. Those are very beautiful moments when you are there. You feel that, Ya Allah, so many people, they were deprived because of financial, because of circumstantial, social, and you paved the way for me to come here. Your eyes should tear. And if your eyes should tear, that's a welcoming sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So make sure that you are packed with that spiritual emotion, that when you see the Kaaba, your eyes tear. There's a guy comes to Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. He said, Yabna Rasulullah, whenever I come to Kaaba, whenever I come, I just cry. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. My tears of joy, they come out that I'm here. Really? Really, I'm here? I don't believe it. Because it's not everyone out of millions of Muslims. Few Muslims, 2 million, 1 million, they are the one they came. That means those are fortunate ones. So when you feel this kind of feeling, let your tears out. That is the sign of welcoming of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the angels surrounding there. Don't hold your tears. Okay, feel that special moment you are there. So therefore, yeah, so this guy tells him, but Yabna Rasulullah, this year I did not feel anything. Imam says, يخشى أن لقمة حرام قد دخلت جوفك. It seems that it seems that there is a haram bite. It has gone inside your system. Haram meat, haram food, this kind of thing. So make sure that these month of Rajab and month of Shaban are amazing days of spirituality and fasting. And fasting breaks this unintentional haram or junk which enters in our spiritual system. Because one of the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam is that fasting breaks down the haram in our system. So hopefully we will be prepared, keep fasting regularly, dissolve that thing so that you can feel the beauty of being there in presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi tayyibin at-tahirin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You have my WhatsApp number in the group. You can call me anytime for any mas'ala in